Hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. The unbeaten run is over. It's 6 and out for Newcastle United and Eddie Howe as they were defeated by Liverpool today by a 1-0. This is the last word.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. We are pausing the video there to tell you about our sponsors today, who are OneFootball. OneFootball is the best app out there, it really is. We use it when we're at the games. We use it also when we're on live streams because it has up-to-date pings. Tells you when Newcastle have scored, tells you about incidents during the game, and it also you can check the app for all the stats about the games. But even better, you know what it's like over the summer. It's going to be ram-packed with transfer rumours. OneFootball puts all of the articles across the web into one place for you. Download it, it's free. The link is in the description.
Yes, a big thanks to OneFootball who are sponsoring this video this afternoon as we record. Lee, let's talk about Newcastle's team. No Chris Wood. That was probably the one decision, really, because I don't think he was necessarily dropped for the Norwich game because he played in the midweek against Crystal Palace. Were you surprised that Newcastle didn't have an out-and-out striker up front today?
A little bit. I said in the because we had quite a few previews this week. So I knew Sean would come straight back out. I think Murphy would come straight back out as well. So that wasn't a shock. Chris Wood one was, yeah, because he's played almost every game except the point where we got to the Norwich game. And I thought, oh, he's going to come straight back in. But you look at it and think, can he really trouble Van Dijk? Can he really trouble Matip or Konate or whoever come in alongside Van Dijk? I don't think so. I mentioned this in the preview because we've got inverted wingers. Where wingers don't put crosses in, they come inbound. So I can understand a little bit why you try to go with ASM to try and stretch Liverpool's backline. Yeah,
it was interesting. In terms of Liverpool, they did make changes, actually, Harry. Mm-hmm. No Salah, no Thiago, no Trent Alexander-Arnold. And you thought, ooh, that's a bit of a slight chance. When you look at Liverpool's 11, you're thinking, there's opportunity there.
Yeah, generally they had all the big hitters off, other than Van Dijk and obviously the goalkeeper. But it's still such a talented team. You think about the names that you've just mentioned, Salah, Trent and Thiago, and they've still got a front line of Diaz, Jota and Mane, yeah. Cheers. And then, yeah, Naby Keïta in midfield, the experience of Milner, don't mention the Mackham. They've still got an incredible team, so it's still a very tough task, even when they've made so many changes from Europe midweek.
Yeah, they did make changes from midweek, but I thought Newcastle started okay. I felt that it was a bit of more of a tussle first 15 minutes, wasn't it? It really did.
A bit of aggression.
Yeah, and I like that. And it was led by Joe Linton for most of the game, really, in terms of that aggression. It was an okay start. A bit of a samba atmosphere, actually.
Like a rave going on and all sorts of sambas. What's going on, man? Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Anyway, who let Joe Linton out in terms of his aggressions in that side of his game today?
Well, Kieran Clark getting sent off against Norwich allowed Joe Linton to have his aggression out because he got put in midfield. Yeah. All hail Kieran Clark. You were a lifesaver. Yeah, he was a battler, wasn't he? I think we needed a lot of high press, and Bruno was doing that a little bit as well. But it's a difficult ask when you come up against this side because I said this in the previews. This is an elite side. Doesn't matter what side they put out. Their reserve side will compete for the top four.
Yeah.
They've got two sides that, like for like, can compete, and this is a side that could make history this year. And for Newcastle only to get beat 1-0 through a controversial goal, credit Eddie Howe today.
Yeah, Maxi had a shot which was dragged wide. That was probably the best it got, really, in terms of the first half before Liverpool scored.
We didn't really test Alisson at all. Let's be honest, we didn't. But again, I come out every video after match and think, you know what, if the lads put a shift in, I'll be all right. They did put the shift in today, but you're just playing against quality. I was intrigued to see how Newcastle were to get on today, and we went down 1-0, like I say, a controversial goal, but Manchester City away next week will probably be a little bit harder because of the fact it's away. But as I say, you've got to think for a second that we shouldn't be too downhearted because we're still in the top 10 and we've just played a world-class side that could win 4 trophies this season.
Yeah, we'll touch on about that a little bit later. How controversial, Harry, was the controversial goal from Liverpool from Naby Keïta?
Controversial for me. Yeah, they've obviously gone in for kind of a 50-50 challenge. Fabian, Schär and James Milner, and Milner's come out on top and Schär's down injured.
Is it a foul?
I'm not sure. For me, it is. I think it is a foul. I'd have to see it back. I haven't seen it back yet.
Just a bit in there.
Bit in.
But in. Fabian Schär's not lying on the floor there. Liverpool didn't score. Simple as that.
I do agree, because they have cut right across the box into where Fabian Schär would be, into the right centre-back position when Naby Keïta scores. I think I do want to see it back, obviously, but for me, yeah, controversial to say the least.
Fascinating. Get your comments in. Was it a foul by James Milner, the former Newcastle man, on Fabian Schär, who obviously came off later on in the second half, which we'll mention? But it tried to, that moment, you thought maybe it might galvanise Newcastle a little bit, going where we've been undone maybe a little bit here, but it didn't really, did it? It was kind of more of the same, and then there was a few decisions where the referee, in my opinion, got wrong, and that didn't really galvanise Newcastle going forward. It was just kind of like, let's just get to half-time and regroup. If you Eddie Howe at half-time, what are you saying? Because it didn't seem much difference, especially in the first period of the second half. It was kind of more the same, really.
You've got to say that you're still in it. I think that's the key thing. You're only 1-0 down. Liverpool don't look like that world-class side that I was describing. The Newcastle competing, that's what we wanted. And they had a bit of luck, I felt, go their way, because if Fabian Schär, as I say, is not down injured, they didn't score. Going into the second half, you think, right, okay, can we get a little bit more faster pace going forward in terms of maybe even you can switch the wings, Almiron, switch them to left, switch ASM, try it up, maybe you can put two up top later on in that second half for tactical reasons. You did with Chris Wood, you brought on Murphy and what have you, but look, it's tough, because this is you're only talking 4 months ago, we're bottom of the league and we're playing against elite side here.
I feel like I've been harsh on the lads today, but do I expect a bit too much from them now?
It's probably because of the form that we've been on.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need a setback. I think this is a good setback, because it's not a battering, it's not a hammering, where they've won 5-0, they beat Man U 4-0, and they played them off the park. It hasn't been that case today. Again, next week, Manchester City to test to see where are we at in terms of what we need to strengthen this summer. Do we need that left back? Do we need target signed permanently? Do we need another centre back? And you can have that discussion. Eddie Howe will probably look at these type of games and see how far we were, because he talked about it in his press conference. He wants this to be a title decider in the future, and that's big ambitions.
Huge ambition. That's what we hope now with this new owners. Obviously, Fabian Schär comes off. Jamal Lascelles comes in. Chris Wood comes on. Chris Wood obviously had that shot in the second half. I know Miggy had one in the first half where it was offside. We did put it in the net in the end, actually. But the best chance for Newcastle was a tamed effort by Bruno Guimaraes. He looked good today in spells, and it was good to see him what he was like against opposition as good as Liverpool. I thought he looked comfortable in that sort of environment today. Yeah,
the Bruno has been superb the last few weeks. He did, as you say, he didn't look out of place today. There was times in that, especially in that second half, where he's running with the ball and he's got 3 Liverpool players around him and he's managing to keep it, but there's no one offering him an option to pass to. I think he's got incredible talent, and I cannot wait to see our club in the present and the future with him. But unfortunately, we haven't got the quality around him yet today, and I think that's a shortcoming at the end of the day, really, because Liverpool are just far more quality in their side.
Yeah, and I wonder your opinion on this. When Jacob Murphy comes on right at the end, I'll say right at the end, it's like 6 or 7 minutes plus injury time, Bruno gets the ball on the halfway line and plays a pass towards the end, and Robertson comes in with a good challenge. Do you think Jacob Murphy slightly backs off and doesn't believe that himself that he's going to get there? Because I think he has slightly bottled it, and if he had that belief that he was going to get that ball there, I think at worst, Newcastle might have a free kick on the edge, or maybe a penalty, depending on where that ball ends up. But I even saw John Joe Shelby turn around. I think it was when Liverpool won that free kick, and Shelby looked at Murphy and was like,
I think we're desperate for a goal, so you get a little bit desperate, don't you, at that stage. Yeah. I think even if it's Emil Krath, I think Emil Krath would do the same as well. I think it's Kieran Trippier, that's a different question. I think Kieran Trippier will risk an injury to try and get Newcastle a corner. So it's probably a little bit harsh, perhaps, but if that's what you want to talk about, Johnny, in the second half, that shows how much we made, how much we created. Yeah. And you talk about the likes of Chris Wood, and you look at Liverpool's bench, what they can bring on. Bloody hell, fuck me.
Salah, Fabinho and Thiago.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, that shows you the strength and class that Newcastle aspire to be. And we just, all three of them would start hands down 38 games in the Premier League season for us.
Oxford Chimmer didn't even get on the bench Liverpool today. That shows you that the depth.
Mrs. will not be happy then because she's a sand dancer.
There we go.
Her from Little Mix.
Commenting below on that one.
Harry. There you go. I'm embarrassing myself now, aren't I? Carry on.
I think we need to hear what Eddie Howe has to say about everything in regards to Newcastle and the Liverpool one. Eddie, take it away.
I think Liverpool were probably not at their best today, but I don't think we were at our best either. And I think whenever you play these games, you have to be. I thought we competed well. I thought we fought for everything, but it just missed that moment of quality that could have got us a goal, really. As I said, we weren't at our best today. Individually, I didn't think we hit our top levels, but we're still in the game right to the end. So there are positives to take from it, but we set our standards very high. I'm slightly disappointed with the general performance, and know next week we have to do much better. From staff to players, that we have to compete for everything, and we have to show that we're competitive in every moment. We still want points, we still want to climb the league, so that's what I'm looking for the last 3.
That's Eddie Howe's thoughts after Newcastle's narrow defeat against Liverpool, who are obviously going for the quadruple. Harry, tactically, did Eddie Howe get it right today?
I think it's difficult. I think I definitely like the high pressure we seem to want to apply, especially early in the two halves. We seem to want to push up high, win the ball back. I think at times Liverpool did fall under pressure a little bit, and they did seem a bit panicked. Not too much. Obviously, they've got brilliant players, they're so calm on the ball, but there were a couple of times I think leaving Chris Wood out was a big factor in our tactics today. Obviously, I personally disagree with that. I think he would have been a good outlet, although he's up against massive centre halves. He's still something different. He's still a different way of us keeping the ball. I don't think ASM through the middle really worked today, or Joe Linton when they were switching. I think Joe Linton was a good outlet on the left in terms of long balls, in terms of kicking it up long and retaining it. But I would have liked to see Chris Wood really, and it just allows us to mix it up a bit more, to be honest. And even then, you can change it after 60 minutes, 70 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's probably the big decision that Eddie Howe might look at for next week, because obviously it's going to be very similar against Manchester City. It wouldn't even surprise me if Newcastle go 5 at the back. It just depends on Fabian Schär's injury, I suppose. What do you think Eddie Howe would have learned much going into this Man City game? Because it's going to be similar.
We don't need to play 5 at the back because we don't need to win a point.
Even at City?
No. No, what's the point? Why not try something? You're safe. You're going for
City is safe, aren't they?
Well, I think City was safe after 15 games. I didn't play 5 at the back. Why not just try again? You know, there might be a couple of changes. Who knows? Manchester City, obviously, same as Liverpool, are trying to win. They're trying to get the double. Sorry, it's a harder task, I think, going away, because when was the last time we won in Man City?
I remember a Carling Cup game with Rolando Aarons. I don't think we've actually won at the Etihad in the Premier League. Empty had. You were going to say something before.
I was going to say I can see an argument for 5 at the back, just to keep the confidence up, not to get a 5-0 battering and have the confidence absolutely drained out the players. I mean, I know we got hit for 5 against Spurs, but they've obviously come back from that because we probably did need a few more points to save us. With this being a dead rubber in terms of for us anyway, we're just playing for position at this point. I can see the benefits of going 5 at the back. Not that I would like to see it, but I can see the benefits of it.
I think it's Manchester City, isn't it? I think I wouldn't be too disappointed seeing 5 at the back.
Not going all the way at Manchester just to say 5 at the back. Not what we've got that to play for. I'll understand, like Harry says, I understand if Eddie Howe does go 5 at the back, but I don't see the point when we're safe and we can play, not so much play around with the formation, but put them on the scarers. The SM didn't work. Can we move them to the right? But if Chris Wood's going to play against Man City, he's got to get deliveries, and that's where crossers. Wingers have got to cross balls in, and really,
it is water.
It is water. Really, and I hate to say this, if you want wingers, you're going to have to play Jacob Murphy, because he's probably, out of Almiron and saint-maximin, the better cross out of the 3. And I didn't want that, because we're wingers come inbound.
Yeah. Let's look at the league table. Man City, Arsenal, Burnley. How many points realistically can Newcastle get?
I think we can get 4. I think we can. I'm not saying we will, but I think we can. I think we could potentially. I don't know where the top. I honestly don't see us getting anything from Manchester City, but depending on where the top 4 race is at, we could hold Arsenal to a draw. In my opinion, the home crowd, the last home game of the season, I think will be up for it, and who knows what happens between now and then. But I think we can do that, and I think we can beat Burnley. But again, depends where they're at in terms of relegation. That might be a dead rubber of a game, or Burnley might have it all to play for. Who knows? But I think we can definitely get 4 points. But it's been a long season. You're not going to complain massively. It'd be very deflating if we didn't get any points at all in the rest of the season. So you'd like to see a win at some point.
How many points for you from now at the end of the season?
Wouldn't it be great though if both the Newcastle fans and Burnley celebrate the fact that Everton have gone down, have a relegation party at Turf Moor? It'd be absolutely fucking wonderful. Fuck the result. If I can see Everton go down, I'm happy. 3 to 4 points, yeah. I think that's what you got to realistically look at. And if you can nick a point in Man City, great. That's a bonus point. But we don't have to worry about it. That's
It's
the
lovely,
thing.
isn't it?
We don't have to worry about it. Oh God, we've got to look at what Norwich are doing, or Leeds are doing, or Everton or Watford or whatever. Who cares? You know, it's the end of the season now. The only thing I don't want to do is like fiddle out, die off, fizzle.
He is drinking water. Believe it or not, he is drinking water.
I have had an hour and a half kip, like. Probably why.
If you can get a violin sent to Lee Lawler at Newcastle Fans TV, that would be delightful. I think we'll wrap things up here with the last word. Newcastle's unbeaten record at St James's Park in the Premier League at 2022 has ended, but there is still one home game to come. It's Arsenal 2 weeks on Monday. That's sandwiched in between Manchester City beforehand and Burnley afterwards. How many points did Newcastle get from that? They send 3 or 4. I probably agree with them, which is lovely to hear. I'm sure Lee loves that as well. Lee will be in Manchester City next week, so make sure you watch all the videos on Manchester City Newcastle and all the videos today for Newcastle versus Liverpool. And you can see St James's Park in the background. If Lee moves, there you go, look at that. Make sure you pop along to the women's game if you can. They want to try and get as many people there as possible.
We're all there.
We're all there. It's a title decider. Potentially, if Newcastle win tomorrow against Alnwick, they'll take it to the final day.
Even Milner's coming up for it.
Exactly.
First ever women's game.
Exactly. So there you go. Can't wait to see Sam as well. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you all very soon.